Welcome, everybody. It is Friday, October 4th. And hello, Darren. I see you're in the chat already. And yeah, we'll get to Tesla in just a moment here. And we're going to start with the SPY. And on the daily chart, it's regaining all of its momentum that was lost. So this is a good thing. It's up to 572.97 pre-market right now, getting back above the conversion line, getting it back above a lot of things, but still has the previous candles as resistance above it. So just got to wait on that to see if it can break. But this is a very positive development, getting back above some resistance for the SPY and gapping up a little bit. So that is looking fantastic. And QQQ also is kind of gapping up above that conversion line too. We can see that right here at 485. It's at 488. So that is a positive development as well. So it's looking like it's more and more likely that support has been found, and maybe it won't need to go back down to test further levels in the lower 470s. And the IWM, where is that going to be pre-market? Well, it's going to be right around that 702, that 219.79, just 20 cents underneath that. So that's going to be the target to at least close the day, the week above, right? And at least maybe close above that conversion line too on the daily chart as well. But getting back above that 702 will lead to getting towards the ARC and the 224, 225, 226 level. So I think that's an important level to get above today. So that 219.79, that's what I'm going to be watching for IWM for the rest of today for the weekly candle close. And let's see. Yes. Okay. Now it's time. Let's do some Tesla, huh? So I think it's best to use Tesla on, let's do it on this log scale, just because I have the log scale chart here of that 242.44. And that's basically what I've been mentioning the whole week, 242.44. Ever since Tuesday, I was talking about it, how a back test of that would be normal. And that's exactly what it has been doing so far. And so far, because it's up to 245.75 pre-market, it's just a wick, a weekly candle wick. So that's what I'd like to see. Can it go higher? Of course, I would love that. But I think a minimum to just build like a new weekly candle next week and daily candles, build a base on top of this 618. That's what I'm really looking forward to. So that is the number 242.44. Close the week above that. Then I think just build a base on top to go back to the 702, 272, then the 300s above after that, right? So one step at a time. And right now it's just a big breakout and it's back testing a level. And that's the level I want to hold. Yes. And good morning, Tracker. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And let's see, TTD. Well, it's above my level. I have a GAN already for it. And yeah, it's looking like it's breaking a new level for TTD. So I think the sky might be the limit, right? But one thing we can do just to see what's really going on is let's do the fib real quick here. Yeah, it's the one level, right? It still hasn't broken it. 114.09. It's at 113.56. So it's kind of at resistance. Even though it broke above a new level, it's at resistance. So that 114.09 is going to be the target to close a weekly candle above it. So essentially, that's it. Like if it continues to close weekly candles below that 114.09, then it probably is just going to stay in this range for some time, and maybe even lose this level as a support if it can't break through. So we got to pay attention to that 114.09, whether it can break or not. WGS. I don't have a GAN for this, but I do have the Ichimoku, and we can put on the SMAs as well. Yeah, the 200-week moving average is just starting to form, and everything on this is really, really bullish. So it broke out of the cloud and just been maintaining strength and lots of strength over time. So I think what's going to happen is probably over time it will gravitate to this 128.03, right? Over time, not right away, but will it go there in a straight line? Probably not, right? There's going to be a point in time where it is going to consolidate, maybe back test levels below, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But so far, the weekly support is still 36.28. It is very, very, very high above it, right? This is a log scale chart, so it doesn't look like that high, but it's at 48. I mean, it would be like a big 12-point drop if it did get back to that weekly support. So this could be very volatile in the future, and that means it could drop a lot and still maintain support. So it also could explode higher and get closer to resistance too. So this is the one that kind of is you like buying the breakouts is where it's exciting, because then you can enjoy the ride. But now that it has ridden that line for so long, it's just maybe got to wait for it to cool off a little bit, right? Because breaking levels is when things really want to accelerate. And now it's just like, I'm not sure if it's going to continue. So WGS, it looks good, but it can easily go back to the 30s and retest levels. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Yeah, HIMS analysis was good. Yeah, HIMS is great. We can just pull up HIMS real quick. I kept on buying a lot myself yesterday too. So that HIMS level right there, we're just going to focus on my arc up there, and it's still stuck in between support and resistance, but I think it's kind of clear to maybe go back to the 18s, maybe even 1847 in that range. But as long as it stays on this angle, it's going to go back above these arcs. And once it's back above the 20s, then I think it's just going to explode much, much higher. So this is very bullish. And yeah, I love that wick through yesterday. It was very, very, I'm very happy to see that. And that's why I was buying myself. So therefore, we'll go to Amazon. Yeah, so Amazon's also going up a little bit pre-market, 185. Weekly chart is going to close the week really bullish again still. So I think nothing's changed. Like week over week, nothing has changed at all from this week to this week. So essentially, we're just looking at price is still in a range before it's trying to break through the previous all-time highs up above. And CVX. Chevron. Okay, so CVX, it's basically kind of still at resistance. It did recover nicely at that 200-week moving average, but it's basically right around that 50-week moving average right now. So we'll have to wait to see the weekly candle close. That 50-week is at 151.91. Price is at 152.29, so it is above it currently. So we're going to have to wait till the weekly candle close to see where it closes. If it closes above resistance, then that's a good thing. Closes below, then maybe still some more resistance next week. So just got to keep an eye on that. But it's looking better and better, but still not really bullish yet because it's below the cloud and below the 100. So I would really like to see it get back above that cloud for it to go higher. And MU looking bullish. Yeah, MU is looking bullish. And on my monthly chart, it's looking like it just started, but it's been battling that monthly baseline, right? For the past couple months. It did slice below it back in August, then September closed above it. Now this month is a new month. Now it's battling it too. So really for the whole month, 102.98 is going to be the target for the whole month, right? I want to see like a monthly candle close of October close above it, simply because it is really important level. You can just tell by the past few months, just trying to break out above it. And it's so far kind of struggling. So we're going to pay attention to that. But the weekly chart, it does look better and better because it did find support. So it's kind of indicating that maybe that monthly chart is going to look more bullish, because it looks like price did hold the cloud, did hold the 50-week, and maybe it wants to go up to the 120s again up here. So yes, it's looking bullish, but just got to focus on that 102 number on the monthly chart. Make sure that holds. and CORZ, gotta love CORZ, right? It's 12.24 pre-market, and yeah, essentially there's really no change from last week. Last week was right here. This week is basically around the same price. It's kind of gonna open a little bit higher today, but my target doesn't change, right? Nothing changes with this one. It's still gonna be going along this angle, and as long as this angle holds, it's gonna go to 18 and $21. If this angle ever is lost as a support, then it would be time to maybe focus on where's the next support going to be. But until then, everything looks great. And I think week over week, it looks like it does want to go towards the 18s and 20s above. And let's see here. I see AMD. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do all these requests, but going to try my best. So AMD is looking right here. It's good, right? It held the support of the 50-week, held the bottom of the cloud. It looks like it wants to go back up, maybe to the 170s, get flipped to a support, maybe challenge these previous candles in the 180s, right? So it's still making lower highs from the top. So what I really want to see is get to the top of the cloud, make that a support, and then go higher. So it's still kind of stuck in a range for me, but the momentum is in the right direction so far. So I think it can get there. It just might take a little bit of time. Yes, we did Tesla already. Let's see. NNE, nanonuclear. So we'll go to the daily chart on this one. And the daily chart is kind of showing us that, yeah, the momentum is still to the upside. And it looks like it wants to maybe go towards the top of the cloud, maybe around 22. So I think as long as this conversion line holds around 1507, then I think price will gradually go higher. And it did flip a lot of this resistance back to a support. So this is great for continuation. So I can see at least going to 22, maybe even the weeks to come, maybe even the 20s. Just if it didn't get there this next week, then maybe the following week it could get there right there. So we'll see. But it's looking better and better for Nano, and I think the 20s will come. Yeah, we'll look at NVDA. So that's 124.91, and my level was that 121.71, and it closed the day above it yesterday. And the market just opened, right? So basically, this is looking fantastic for price to continue, right? As long as this level holds the 121.71, 122 zone, then I can see it building that base to go higher and higher. And it looks really, really good for continuation. And the one thing I'm focused on next is, I got to see a higher high from this 131.26. So that is going to be the next step. So right now it's in a range, and I want to see it break out of this range because so far it's just a series of lower highs. And I would need to see a higher high before get too excited here, because this is just the first step, closing back above my level, but the next step is getting a higher high. All right. And I see a question, when will miners finally fly? Need money? Well, when Bitcoin kind of breaks out more, it will finally go up. And Bitcoin has recovered. It looks like Bitcoin has found a support. So I think the miners are going to do kind of well. We can see that they are green today, but just got to be patient with them. They're building a base to go higher. All of them are, and they are holding support. So this is what you want to see. You want to see stocks hold their support in order to go higher. So it's the first step, right? And I think that's all the time I have for today. Sorry, I can't get to all the requests, but essentially everything is looking good. Just pay attention to those numbers. I think what we're going to see is a pretty strong weekly candle close for all the indices as well, as long as momentum stays. And we don't have a fading in the afternoon, but it looks like with the start today, things do want to gap up above resistance levels, as I showed in the beginning of the video. So this is a good start, and it could be a good start for next week as well. So hope you guys have a good rest of your Friday. See you next week.